Yeah, instead of somebody getting fired today, I'm pretty sure there was a raise. Lakers Warriors, just it might have been the game of the season, and sadly, that might be the best play-in game we ever get. Think about the circumstances that created this matchup. The years of Curry versus LeBron, the roles kind of being reversed where LeBron has the great team and Steph is more or less on his own. The fact that under normal circumstances, neither of these guys have any business being in a play-in. It really might be years before any kind of circumstances line up to give us something that special, because even with the Grizzlies and Spurs, yeah, that was a close game. It just wasn't like this. And out of the other play-in games, they were alright. It was fun to see Jason Tatum drop 50, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of teams competing for a spot that you really know they don't have any kind of chance in, whereas for the Lakers, that was literally the difference, in my opinion. I think that game was the difference between the Lakers being in the finals or not. I thought about it because they said LeBron was on a minutes restriction and he had officially reached his quota. First of all, that hit me like a ton of bricks because I forgot, yeah, he's come back from a serious injury and he probably is not supposed to be just putting pedal to the metal. However, that was at a super important time in the game, and I was thinking, okay, if LeBron doesn't come back and the Warriors find a way to win this, the Lakers are now playing the top of the bracket, which is the Jazz and Clippers, instead of the bottom, which is the Suns and Nuggets. One of those, as a ramp up to the Western Conference Finals, is a lot more annoying than the other. As for the Warriors, they now get to go play the Grizzlies, who they just defeated, so they've got some confidence against them, but again, these one-game situations are so dangerous. This is exactly why people were nervous about it, because if you were watching the game last night, nothing was going right for the Lakers to start. There was a bunch of missed layups, Anthony Davis couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, Curry was doing what we expected. They had 3 people chase this man at the end of the half to the smallest space on the court, and he still made it. That is why you don't want single elimination games. That is why people were so nervous when they were back there with Steph Curry. You know what could happen. I'm sure if this was a Lakers-Warriors series, the rest of the games would probably be blowouts for the Lakers. However, in one game, yeah, this is, they almost paid the price. In any case, if the Warriors win, now they play the Jazz when they would have played the Suns. I'm still kind of, I'm scratching my head on Utah because I don't have any status updates on Donovan Mitchell. I don't know what shape he's in. We haven't seen him in like a month. I don't know if he's going to be playing to start the series. So while Golden State should not be upsetting anybody, with their defense and the wild card that is Steph Curry, you can see them getting like a game or two or extending a series, which is annoying for a contender. Because the whole point of being a contender and having a high seed is that you just can play a team as it's pretty much like a tune-up. The Warriors are clearly not the same team that they were towards the beginning of the season. They set screens better thanks to Draymond Green and Kevon Looney putting their teammates through screen school, I think they called it. The defense is there, Steph is turned up. If you are the Jazz, you are 1,000% hoping that the Grizzlies win the series. Not because you think you're going to go out in the first round, but you are going to have an easier time with Memphis than you are Steph Curry. That's just where we are right now. Okay, but more about this game. Maybe starting backwards. I've been watching LeBron James for so long, and I've been watching him in important moments for so long that I know the things that are going to happen before they happen. Me and my brother were watching this game. He's getting into basketball for the first time in his life, which has been just an incredible experience for me, and he's wanting the Lakers to be dealt with early. Of course, if they're in the 8th seed, I think their chances of going to the finals drop significantly, so that game was important. And when it was tied, and I saw LeBron, this was after he had taken the hit from Draymond Green, which I actually thought, I've seen people get flagrants for less. I really thought he was about to get tossed. So that happened. LeBron is blinking weird. He's now legally blind, as the story has been told. And I've seen so many LeBron moments that after that play and the game is coming down to basically one shot, I knew LeBron was going to make something. I didn't know if it was going to be a layup or if he was going to get to the rim and draw a foul or if it was going to be some crazy three. I knew it was going to be something, and I told my brother, look, I was like, this one is over. I'm sorry. Once it came down to that situation, I'm like, I've seen this my whole life. LeBron is about to do something. I don't know what it is. He's about to do something. And it ends up being like a movie script. Like I say, I have more simulation evidence. So in this whole LeBron and Curry rivalry, LeBron catches it with very little time on the clock with Steph Curry out there on him in Steph territory, and LeBron flings it. Now you've got the photo of him hitting a game winner on Steph Curry. You just can't write stuff better, bro. How do the stars align to make this happen? There's no way, bro. This is a simulation. But anyways, that incredible shot drops, which also I think I saw some stat that said that is his farthest game winner or go-ahead bucket of his career, I believe. Whatever it is, my brother was in shambles, and I was just like, bro, this is this is yearly routine for LeBron James around the playoffs. I was kind of, I guess my brain was referencing the 2012 finals when Braun came back from the cramps. what was it, his calf or his leg was cramping or something, and he hit that three over top with Cephalosha. There's more moments, sure, when he's just in a totally adverse moment and he does something super important. I have many to pull from. Also in 2012 that year against the Celtics, he hit a dagger three. Yeah, I saw it coming, bro. And I'm not tired of it, by the way. I love the greatness. I appreciate the greatness. Seeing him and Steph embrace after the game. It's crazy, bro. I don't think, if people are out there hating on either one of them, but specifically Steph Curry, you just fail to realize what we're witnessing. Steph Curry is shooting the basketball at a rate that is going to be hard for anybody to ever duplicate. I have never in my life watched a player dribble up to defense or run away from three people and still expect the ball to go in. That's just not something. This is not something that happens, bro. That's not normal. That's not anything that I expect to see after Steph Curry retires. LeBron is one of the only players where we were in that situation and I pretty much I already knew where it was going and I 100% believed he was going to hit the next shot. It's amazing to witness on both fronts. Some interesting notes during the game. It definitely didn't look like Braun was 100%. Well, he already said himself he's never going to be 100% again in his career. The age is getting up there. Specifically coming back from the ankle, he looked very tentative throughout the game. I thought that he was not being as assertive as I seen him. Some of the finishes weren't there. And for a while, our guy Andrew Wiggins was getting the best of him. That was something to see. If you remember Andrew Wiggins and his awkward Cleveland moment when he got drafted there, and when LeBron came back, immediately everybody knew he was about to get traded for another star. Then there was the interview. That's the awkward moment that I'm talking about. And he was like, yeah, I just want to be somebody. I just want to be somewhere where people want me. And if Cleveland wants me, yeah, it was a sad moment. Of course, he got traded, so that all came full circle last night. Wiggins was, I saw a look on his face I have not seen in his career yet, so that was a great thing. Golden State was in control for most of it, but then reality just hit, and I was waiting on it. I knew it was going to finish close, even though Golden State had gone up by like 13 points or something by the half. Knew they weren't going to be able to hold on because of those minutes without Steph Curry, and I actually thought he might play the entire second half, just because you don't know, again, what's going to happen in a single elimination game. They could still not make the playoffs now. That's why, even though maybe they would prefer to play the Jazz over Phoenix for whatever reason, falling to the 8th is not necessarily a good thing, still might get eliminated, whereas last night they would have assured themselves a playoff spot. And because of that reason, I thought he was not going to sit. I don't care. No one's ever going to be able to convince me that those 2 minutes he sat in the fourth quarter were worth it. I don't think that was a great idea. The Warriors without Steph Curry they're like trying to mine for points, basically. There is not an acceptable, consistent second option for points on that team. And that was at such an important time because the Lakers hadn't led in the game, actually. Yeah, the Lakers had not led. I believe they were only down by like 2 or 4 points. And so my thinking was maybe they shouldn't give LA that momentum and give the crowd that momentum where they sit Curry and let them take the lead because you won't get it back. And I was right. They sat him. All it took was 2 minutes. The Lakers took that 4-point lead. Golden State was never able to. I don't think they pulled ahead. They might have pulled ahead by maybe 1. Still, I'm sorry, bro. I don't think those 2 minutes were worth it. I've been rewatching the 2009 playoffs, the series between the Celtics and Bulls. The Celtics did not have an acceptable replacement for Rondo, and so they did not sit Rondo. In very important games that they had to win, Rondo played every single minute. I think 2 minutes was 2 minutes too long for Curry to have sat in the fourth. But now they're in an elimination game, 1 game for the entire playoffs, and anything can happen, so that's going to be exciting. I thought there were moments where they should have just been trusting Steph shots more than trying to get cuts, because they were really leading to a lot of turnovers. The Warriors were trying to get backdoor cuts led by Draymond Green's passing in moments where I thought a Steph shot from anywhere on the floor would have been the better option, and so a lot of those turnovers hurt them. And yeah, speaking of Draymond Green, just to go into detail on that, I'm glad they didn't throw him out. I don't believe Draymond tried to hit LeBron in his face. LeBron is a what is he, 6'9", 250, whatever his cyborg attributes are. He goes to the rim and you try to stop him. Sometimes you just accidentally hit him in a place you didn't mean to. So I think he was poked in the eye. Yeah, that hurts like a bitch, but it was still. The thing is, when he went down, I actually thought it was much worse. I didn't know he was poked in the eye. I thought he wasn't able to break his fall and he fell straight on his back and maybe got whiplash by hitting his head on the floor. That's what I was scared of. My heart skipped a beat. I thought he was really, really hurt for a second. Then we got the meme, of course, from the overhead shot. I saw that he was poked in the eye. And the legend has been forever born. He had a clutch shot, allegedly seeing 3 rims. That's what he said about 4 or 5 times last night. He aimed for the middle one. That we now have that in LeBron James lore. But to the larger point, I'm very glad that they used their brains and they didn't throw Draymond out, because we had such a great game there, and Draymond is important to a lot of Warriors functions right now. I'm just glad that they didn't completely determine the outcome and go ahead and toss him. But the way LeBron looked for most of the game last night is why I think it was so important for them to nab this 7 seed. The way it's worked out, the Clippers on the other side of the bracket. I think the Lakers are going to need these reps to get LeBron and AD be looking like their championship form. Yes, they had some good games to wrap up the season, but now we're in playoff basketball that it's totally different intensity. And to ramp up to that intensity, I agree with Jared Dudley. He was saying he didn't understand why certain teams were trying to duck them early in the playoffs, because it might be better to get them there than when they've got LeBron James fired up by the conference finals. So now with where they're at, I think they can afford some slow starts. I don't think they're going to need every bit of him to beat the Phoenix Suns. I think that can be a more AD-centric offense than to beat a Nuggets team that isn't healthy, or the Blazers. Obviously, that's not going to take 100% of the Lakers team. So they're kind of cool. They can manage it now until the conference finals, whereas going straight up against Utah and then the Clippers right after, I think that would have just been much more difficult. So shout out to the Lakers. Shout out to the play-in idea. It's here to stay. Like I've said a million times, maybe they can amend it, but this has got to stay. Last night, we would have just been twiddling our thumbs. There would have been no basketball all week. Instead, we saw what I think is going to be one of my favorite game memories as an NBA fan for quite some time. We've now only got two things to figure out. It's whether the Sixers are going to be playing Indy or the Wizards, and then whether the Jazz, and their health status being in question, are going to see Steph Curry or Ja Morant. Playoffs start Saturday. It's hype. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about the game. Let me know who you want to win the rest of these play-in games. And hit the bell next to my name if you want a notification every time a new video drops. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.